You need permits from the local Department of Building if you intend to start a construction, repair, or renovation project. Permits are a safety net to ensure all buildings in the community are safe to use and constructed according to the latest code requirements. Unfortunately, the application process isn't entirely stress-free. While the department tries to keep it as streamlined as possible, the assessment can drag on for weeks. Service First permits can make things easier for you with their expedition services. When do you need permits? Almost all construction, renovation, and extensive repair projects require permits. If you add anything to your property without approval from the local authority, that feature will be illegal and you'll face penalties. Here's a look at some projects that need permission. Kitchen or bathroom installation or remodels. Room additions or extensions, including sunrooms. Roof installation. HVAC installation. Water heater installation. Fence and retaining wall construction. Patios, decks, gazebos, or arbors installation. Spas and pools construction. Garages and large sheds. Siding repair of any kind. Generator installation. Furnace installation. Skylights. Solar panels. Professional expediters are familiar with the local building code and department requirements. They will know whether your project requires permits and make all the necessary arrangements. A look at the permit application process. The application process varies from one state to another. It's always a good idea to visit the Department of Building's website for their specific requirements. Here's a brief look at how to apply. The department needs attested copies of the construction or renovation plan. These copies are sent to various departments to determine whether they comply with the building code. The builder owner needs to fill out the permit application and QA forms. The information provided here should be accurate and current. Once the packet has all the required paperwork, the owner can submit it to their local building department along with the required fee. The department will send the plans to various experts in different departments for checking and approval. If the plan has no errors, the permit will be approved within 2 to 4 weeks. If the blueprint has errors, the department will return the package along with plan check notes. These notes will list all of the code violations in the design. The builder owner must correct the errors and make sure there are no code violations before resubmitting the application. As you can see, there are several steps in the entire application process. In many instances, builders owners are forced to make several trips to the department or resubmit the application repeatedly before getting the permit. Experts at Service First Permits are familiar with the application process here in San Francisco. They have worked for the building department for several years and know how to communicate with them. With their help, you can get your plan approved in the first try, and without facing any significant delays. Who are permit expediters? Permit expediters are trained professionals who understand the real estate world and are familiar with both zoning and building code. They started as middlemen and paper pushers that handled all the permit application documents. However, they have now evolved into code consulting experts. They have connections in the industry, can reach out to experienced architects and designers, and maintain contacts with the Department of Building employees. The expediters at Service First Permits have the connections and expertise to speed up the approval process. This helps to ensure you get approval within a few short weeks. They also know how to get priority plan assessments or over-the-counter permits if necessary. What do expediters do? The role of a permit expediter has expanded considerably over the years. They handle a lot of responsibilities, and some of them are listed below. Consultation. Their first step is to understand your requirements and priorities. They look at your project description, inspiration, blueprints, and other such information carefully. Experts in this field have enough knowledge and experience to spot evident code violations quickly. They also know who they need to consult to get more information. Getting second opinion. Some clients have professionally designed and attested plans while others have pre-designed blueprints that aren't customized to suit their property. Professional expediters send the plans to trustworthy architects, designers, and building code experts to get a second opinion. This ensures all code violations are spotted early, and you don't have to go through the permit application process repeatedly. Preparing the applications packet. The applications packet includes the plans, the application form, any additional documents like a QA form, and the fees for the permit. All information provided in this packet must be accurate. Forms with mistakes or false information will be sent back. Expediters have filled out hundreds of applications in the past, which means they won't make any mistakes during the process. They will double-check the form to ensure there are no errors before submitting the packet. Plan checks. Professional expediters take every step possible to avoid plan checks, but is likely to miss some details. If that happens, the experts will retrieve the packet from the department, study the plan check notes, make the required corrections with the help of architects or designers, and resubmit. They will make sure everything is in order and double-check the information to avoid rejections. Picking up the permit. You have 100 days to pick up the permit from the office, and this can be extended by a year with the help of a written request. It is important to pick it up before the deadline because the department will cancel its approval after 100 days have passed. Expediters will handle this for you and make sure the permit is still valid when it is delivered to you. These professionals offer consultation, guidance, and support through the application process. If you want to get a permit quickly, Service First Permits can help. What are the benefits of hiring permit expediters? Many builders owners consider expediters unnecessary and try to get permits without professional assistance. They quickly find themselves lost and tangled in a web of plan checks, rejections, deadlines, and requests for additional information. This is a waste of both time and money. Here are some benefits of hiring professionals. Knowledge of the process. Professionals have in-depth knowledge of the building and zoning codes, the application process, and approval requirements. They are less likely to make mistakes and get tangled up in all the red tape. Save time. Professionals know how to save time and get permits quickly. They will provide a checklist of changes you need to make and documentation required for the application. This lays a solid foundation and increases the chances of you getting approval at the first attempt. Preparing and submitting the application is still a complicated process, but you save time by delegating the task to a professional. This allows you to focus your energies on other aspects of the project. Communicate with the department. Complex plans lead to significant communication between the department and the builder owner. You'll have to deal with requests for additional information, questions, repeated plan checks, and other such issues. This can be both time-consuming and frustrating, and it is best to leave the matter to the experts. They will handle all communications and sort out the information to ensure the process runs smoothly. Save money. You need to pay the application fee every time you resubmit the packet, which means mistakes can be expensive. Hiring an expediter might seem like an additional expense at first glance, but it can help you save money. They have vast experience in the field and are more likely to get your permit approved at the first try. Keep you informed. Expediters will keep you informed about the progress. They will advise you if there are any delays or problems with the application. You won't have to contact the department directly to get information on the approval timeline. There are many benefits of hiring a professional expediter, but it is essential to choose the right professional for the job. Service First Permits provides expert permit pulling and management services in San Francisco. They're familiar with the rules and regulations of the local building department. They also know how to find specific information on different building codes applicable to your project. If you want reliable professionals who can get you through the permit process quickly, they're a great choice. They have extensive experience in the field and strong industry connections. The company can get you in touch with architects, designers, engineers, and other such experts as well. If you want to know more about the process or wish to consult with Service First Permits, don't hesitate to reach out. Their team will be happy to answer all of your questions and help you get permits quickly.